Everybody, it's Victor. It's another Eden Run here, the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance Plus series. Happy Friday, Mosh Pit. How are you doing? How you doing? Beck Lima 7-4, Papa 6, Kilo Mike. I swear we've had that seed before. We've got terrible Tears Raid. Blank card, but we don't have a tarot card, Hive Mind, and the Lucky Rock, which is going to give us a chance to spawn coins every time a rock or pot or mushroom or anything is destroyed, whether by our hand or by someone else's hand, or not even a hand, but a bomb. We've got, once again, bad movement speed and decent shot speed, almost the exact same shot speed we had yesterday. I am recording this on the same day as we did yesterday's. Incredible run, maybe? I don't know. It's hard to say that run was... Let me bring this back. What I will say about yesterday's run is if that was a void run, brother, we were in heaven. There was so many voiding opportunities and so many keeper sack opportunities. Like, we just needed a spark for that run, and it just never happened. And sometimes that's just how Isaac works. That's why we say it's Isaac, baby. There's no way that we could have gone to anywhere other than Blue Baby there with the Death's Touch. But that's in the past. That was yesterday. Here's today. Here on a Friday. Hopefully your Fridays are going off to a fantastic start. Half price Soul Heart's nice. I wouldn't mind the Eraser early on. But for now, we don't have any option. Okay. Go game. See, the problem is we don't have any keys to open up these golden chests. So if you could produce something that we can work with here, game, that'd be nice. Blank card could be very reliable and very, very strong here if and only if we get the appropriate card to work with. Blank card is one of those things where I think that if you pick it up, it should at least start you off with a tarot card. Same thing with the Trinket Smelter. I think that if you get a Trinket Smelter, it should start you off with a Trinket, or if you buy it or something like that. Get Mom's Pearls, which gives us range and a luck upgrade, along with the Soul Heart, which is nice. We need to figure out right now, if we get the buying power to get the Eraser, is it worth taking that over than just hoping that we get a good tarot card, if we get a tarot card. Okay, so we have bombs, we have a little bit of money now, we have a little bit of wiggle room. We need to find the secret room, which definitely could be over here, but I have a sneaky suspicion it's probably going to be lower of the shop. It could be there too, but that'd be a less likely spot. Here, and there's not actually any money in here. I mean, I could try to bomb the keeper, but remember, we also have that spike room that has a key and a bomb, and that could also lead us to get some good stuff here. So let's try to get this. Remember, we have the Lucky Rock, so any rock that we destroy also has a chance of dropping coins, like that one did right there. I don't know how I didn't pick up that coin, but I know that fire was sizing us up here. And there we go. We get another key now. We got a nickel. We can easily afford the Eraser if I wanted it. And we have a key for the next floor. The problem with the Eraser is that you can miss. And I don't like that. And I've missed frequently, especially if you get number one. Number one is a little bit bugged with it. Now, with Headless Horseman, on the other hand, we can get the Headless Horseman's horse, which would give us flying and would give us movement speed. Also allows us to get into and out of curse rooms for free for the entire run. So that's pretty dang good value. And if we can somehow work that into a parlay with something like Voodoo Head, that would be amazing. I will say that Headless Horseman is one of the toughest first floor bosses to fight on any character, but especially a bad Eden start. And this is not a great Eden start, to be fair, because of our tier stat. Once again, we're asking for a little bit of help for tiers, and once again, the game's giving us a non-stat up here for our first boss room. I don't know how the head is still alive, because we've only been exclusively hitting the head here. But I am definitely going to be taking the Headless Horseman over Blank Card, because we have literally nothing that we can do with Blank Card currently. Now we can go into the curse room and see what's in there. So you saw how we pulled on that thread of, well, we want to get maybe 15 cents. That led us to looking at getting keys, which led us to getting lucky with a golden chest, admittedly. But now that we have the power to buy something, now we can say, we can be a little bit more selective, and that led us to getting more chests, which led us to possibly getting even more HP, which led us into now a situation where we can get some real value here by still having enough bombs left over for the curse room. And there you go, 2 free soul hearts here for the cost of just a full charge on our active item that we decided to pick up. So the value is already better than what we had with blank card. We have bombs. We could even look for the super secret room if I really wanted to, and I'll take a stab at it, but I'm not gonna go crazy for it. I'd rather have the 3 bombs. Good. So we made up a little bit of help there, and yeah, head on down. We go on to last week's question of the episode here, coming in from Matthew Knight 8850 from the when is it a good time to fight Hush episode from last week. And Matthew said, question of the day, given how runs can be outright painful sometimes, what is the #1 challenge that you would make to enhance the fun while keeping the game challenging? This is a question that's been asked before, and the same answer that I will echo from back then is that I think that there's too many items that do the same thing. People like to call it item bloat, which is an apt term for what Isaac experiences. And also just a comprehensive look at some of the weaker items, some of the items that are just flat out bad, some of the ones that can actually harm you, that sort of thing. I also believe that putting in soft low caps on certain stats that you can start with from a base level for like Eden. But that's a niche. That's like a niche complaint though, because not everyone plays Eden. A lot of people just play Azazel just to have fun, which I totally get. I wish I lived in that world where I can just play Azazel, do Azazel streaks. But I like Eden. Eden's still my favorite character to play as. I like the challenge. But going back to focusing on the question of the day, I do think that removing a lot of the useless and outright bad items in the game would be a very good solution for a lot of the game's issues. But on top of that, there's one thing else that I would say I would desire even more, and that is to bring back what we had in Afterbirth Plus, to just undo a lot of the balances that Repentance, all the anti-player stuff, all those patches, all the nerfs. Just get rid of all of them. Just go back to what we had. That is something that I think would be a huge improvement for the game. No nerfs, no balance changes. Let us break the game. Let us have fun. That's my #1 chief complaint and wish for this game, is to be able to go do that again. And sure, you can still break the game in Repentance Plus, but it's nothing like we used to see. And I've aired my grievances with Repentance and some of Repentance Plus, very publicly, and I'm not afraid to say what I like and don't like about a game. And I'm passionate about it because Isaac matters to me. Isaac is the channel. Isaac is my life. And I think that offering a perspective of someone who plays the game nonstop, and I like to consider myself pretty knowledgeable of the game. I don't know everything, and I'm certainly not accurate with everything. But I do tend to know what I'm talking about sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And I do truly think that the #1 source of a lot of frustration for Isaac players, including myself, is just the whole like why though, that whole mentality of Repentance. Why did this get nerfed? Well, we don't want people breaking the game, but why? It's the game's designed to be broken. That's the whole point. It's a roguelite. It's not like every run's going to get broken. And if every run does get broken, then who cares? It's a single player game. I think that mindset is not good for a game that's supposed to be fun. Games are supposed to be fun. An HP upgrade, I'm going to take it. I'm not going to use the Black Rune. And once again, we get Death's Touch. I have closed down and restarted Isaac since the last episode was recorded, I promise. And I really can't pass up Death's Touch, even though it does destroy our tears rate again and puts us back down literally to where we just were. But piercing shots are just too good, and I'm hoping that we don't have a repeat here. I actually went to the gym early this morning. I went to the gym at I got there at 2:20 in the morning. I did my cardio, I did my Stairmaster, I did my elliptical routine, and left around like 3:15 or something like that in the morning. You know, just I didn't go to the gym on Saturday. I didn't do my stretching. I didn't do my cardio, so I had an extra cookie from Subway, so I felt a little bit guilty. And that's not really a healthy way to look at food and stuff, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, you know, you can feel it that way, but hey, those calories, they ain't gonna burn themselves. I am really, really proud of my progress, even though it could definitely be better. My diet could definitely be cleaner. I'm not looking to get into any kind of body competitions or whatever. I just want to look good, you know? I want to look good, and I want to get my strength back, and my strength has definitely been coming back in a big way, and I'm really excited about that. Protecting my joints, all that kind of good stuff. You know, by the time I get to 30 or 40, I don't want to be able to not move or anything like that. This is a global D20. I was going to do this now because I don't feel like coming back here. And we do kind of need boss rush, although it is going to be kind of a tall order. But we've already gotten really good value out of the Headless Horseman's horse. And I do think that it was the right choice to go with this over blank card. Another random soul heart here. Now, if we can just get a friggin' tears upgrade. I know you're kind of allergic to it, game. I know that you don't want to give up something. But you can't stiff us on 2 runs now. And yes, technically we got a tears up here with the apple, but it was immediately taken away from us thanks to Death's Touch. See, that's odd, game, because I definitely hit the spacebar item, and there was a delay there, so that was a little bit weird. There's no reason for us to be in here. None at all. Hallowed Ground, by the way, is that white poop that's following Isaac. Whenever we take damage, it's going to drop a very big, glowing, angelic aura, which if we stand in that aura, we will maintain a huge amount of damage and also have the protection of the said aura. Yeah, this ain't great. We get a Joker card. Okay. Okay, so we either need to get rid of our Black Rune or our Joker card on this floor. Or both. It's possible we will do both, but not at the same time because we don't have a way of carrying 2 cards at once. Black Rune is basically void. It ignores the fact that an item might be a spacebar item or whatever. It just takes whatever item pedestals are active and it just turns it into stats. So that is one avenue that we can hope and pray for that will give us a tears upgrade. And somehow, some way, we've managed to not find the item room. We can bomb our way into the item room here. And the item room is most likely going to be the target for our Black Rune. I'm not going to try to super optimize whether or not we're going to have multiple item pedestals to void or not. Yeah, that's a easy peasy void there. And we get a 0.5 tears upgrade. Hey, it's better than what we started with. Now we can go back into the member shop here and grab our Joker card. Now, I just saw out of the corner of my eye as I was coming into the member store that we did get a golden chest inside of the curse room. And that was the result of us going in there first and then going into the 3 room, which gave us a global D20, which rolled whatever was in there into a golden chest. So I am going to go back over here and see what we have. We got more buying power, which is good. That's 10 cents right there. And again, Headless Horseman's Pony, A+. I would say even S tier. S tier job so far with the value. Now you can use the flying pony to actually deal damage to enemies. It doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but you can use it just if you're desperate for some extra damage. We're kind of flush with bombs right now, so having an easy champion peep kill would be nice. Also, we can't discount how many hits that the flying pony may have saved us by giving us this this movement speed upgrade. And look at this, we get the cancer trinket, which is going to give us a very, very nice tears up. And we do have to spend 2 soul hearts for Gimpy, but I think Gimpy's worth it, especially since we have a 2.8 luck rating. But put your own question of the episode answers down below, because I'd like to know what would you improve about Isaac? Do you agree with me that the old version was the best version? Do you think that that's a little inaccurate? Do you think that, you know, would you remove item blow? Would you get rid of the repeating items? Or maybe something completely different. Would you just remove curses, for example, or remove Curse the XL or Curse the Blind? I'd love to know your opinion. And also, don't forget to keep submitting those questions of the episodes. I had to really dig deep to find some questions here. A lot of people were talking about not smelting something, or, you know, or just whatever. And while those, I mean, all comments are good comments. Even the bad comments are good comments, because it's great for an engagement. But, you know, I like to see a more variety, more varied levels of questions of the episodes. Nothing doing in the curse room here, but again, look at the value we're getting out of this. Just having the simple act of having flying here. And we even have a play for maybe Magic Mush. Excuse me, or not. Liberty Cap is not what we're looking for. Hey, Dave. Thank you. Get ourselves a Yave. I scratched my ear. Like, my ear was kind of bothering me just now, and I scratch it, and then that made my throat start to itch. Like, how does that work? I know they are connected, but it's just weird. Teleport meta, while it's good, it's not what we're looking for. The secret room might be to the left of here, although given the configuration of this map, I'd be a little surprised. Yeah. Super secret room is most likely north of here. But it's not. We get a greed fight. Decent damage there with the flying pony. We get a dime as well as a Steam sale and the member shop here. The member shop at least means that you're always going to have some kind of benefit for a store. Even if there's a greed run, or a greed fight, I mean. Now we have the strength card, and I should go back and get it in case we do get a devil deal. Boss rush is off the table at this point. I'm going to drop the Joker card here. The reason why the strength card is relevant is... The reason the strength card is relevant is because if we do get a devil deal, we can use the strength card to get a cheaper devil deal. As it's much easier and cheaper to spend 1 red heart, temporary red heart at that, than it is to 3 permanent soul hearts. We do get another devil deal, which is surprising. We're getting lucky on that. We get a golden bomb. Okay. And yeah, that's real nice. So we spend a strength card to get a tears upgrade for essentially free, and we also get a damage upgrade with these Invictor robes. I just wanted to see what was in there. And it's taking a gander for the secret room. Yeah, cracked orb's fine. Cracked orb. If we take damage, it will at least show us parts of the map, including unlocking doors or secret rooms if they are adjacent to the room that we took damage in. Yeah, my diet could be cleaner, and I've talked about this in the last couple of weeks, really. Yeah, I gotta live a little bit. It's important to maintain your sanity when you're in a routine, and I definitely am full bore into this routine now. And I would even go so far as to say that the lifestyle change has taken place. You know, you'll hear a lot of people say that 66 days is the threshold for a habit to become a lifestyle change, like a permanent change. And I think that I've proven that I've done it. You know, I would have never dreamed in a million years of even considering going to go do cardio at 2:30 in the morning, even in my most bored state back in the day. And because I felt like I didn't work out Saturday just because I had stuff going on, I was like, yeah, let's gotta go to the gym. We gotta go to the gym. Even after I got done recording and I was talking to a friend, and I told her, I said, you know, yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym. And she was like, what? But yeah, time to go to the gym. Gotta go. Gotta put in that work. And while I was there, I didn't even really. I got 4,000 steps in, over 4,000 steps in 20 minutes, and I did the Taj Mahal, which was 40 floors. Although I will say that I was kind of an idiot in a way. I was hitting it a little bit too hard because I actually went to level 4 on the Stairmaster, and that is a world of difference versus level 3. Like, level 3 is like baby mode compared to level 4. I was exhausted. It felt great though, because I'm like, okay, so 4 is going to be the new threshold of what I need to be doing on the Stairmaster for speed. And man, I was gassed. And the funny thing is, it only lasted. It was like 6 minutes and 47 seconds of stairs to get up to 20 floors. And like my core was tired, my legs were exhausted. I was panting, man. Like I was like, but I did it though. That's the thing too, which I'm real proud of. I was able to actually do it without lowering the speed or just giving up or whatever. And I wouldn't give up anyway. But you know, after running almost 2 miles, actually no, it was right at 2 miles, and then doing 20 floors on the Stairmaster, you know, I was pretty gassed. But I did it. I was sweating my butt off, and you know, I'm proud that I'm glad that I went there, because I'm gonna definitely sleep well tonight, even though it's 6:29 in the morning at this point. Oh, we get another devil deal. We've been getting extremely fortunate with these devil deals. I'm gonna be lazy. So now our tears rate is looking pretty solid here. We've got the cancer trinket, which is breaking the tears cap. Gotten solid tears upgrades. No complaints on that front. We still have our Joker card, which at this point might even last all the way to the cathedral. And we still have the member shop to look forward to here, the Steam sale. And I'm hoping there's a reroll machine, because we have plenty of money at this point. We get Navi. Okay. We get mystery gift here. And of course, we did not get a reroll machine. So let's go all the way back to the secret room now, because I am going to use this in the secret room. But just look at our absolutely pathetic movement speed without the flying pony. And oh mama. We get Sacred Orb. Now, people were fired up that I was calling Sacred Orb mid, and they always get fired up. Sacred Orb, this is your chance. Even though it's already kind of halfway through this run, you still have room to grow. You got room to prove yourself. Sun card, nah. We'll stick with the Joker. So good stuff happening all around. Navi betrays the location of the super secret room. We get a bunch of pills that I'm obviously not going to take, but we do get a key. And we shall head on to Zown. This one's not Isaac related, but I just happened to glance over at this. The Joker 49949 said, question the episode, in your fitness journey, what has been your hardest new habit to get into or old habit to get back into? I've let myself lapse in fitness ever since my kids were born, and I'm starting to gain my motivation back to start working out again, but I'm struggling to get back into a good rhythm. What is the hardest new habit to get into? The hardest thing about the fitness journey is getting started. That's always step one. And literally, the first step back into the gym. That is the hardest thing that you could do. And you might have all the motivation in the world. You might be like, I'm so committed. I'm locked in. Nothing is going to deter me. And then you step into that gym for the first time, and whoever knows, God knows how long, and it all hits you at once. And especially as a dude, it's very difficult to come to terms with, hey, I'm not as big as I used to be, or I'm not as strong as I used to be. And that's something that you have to kind of overcome. And I am projecting a lot here because that's what I went through. Every single time I've tried to get back into the habit of things, and being unable to get a routine going because I get so irritated that hey, I'm nowhere near as strong as I used to do. I mean, I was lifting iron, I was pushing metal back in the day, and not being able to even sniff at the weight that I used to. It feels real bad. We did swallow the cancer trinket. When did we get marbles? I honestly don't even remember. I guess it was, no, I do remember because we picked it up on marbles is what gave us the cancer item. So good example here of value. Even though we got super greed here in our final shop, we still get a chance to get something. And finally, the game gives us a reroll machine. I'm going to take the Eternal Heart. I don't care about the Inner Child. Oh my goodness. Okay, half-price wafer is actually madness. An Ansa's Rune, nice. Half-price wafer is beautiful. And we finally get a movement speed upgrade. Now, it's not going to have any effect on our actual movement speed because we have the Flying Pony, but it's still nice to finally get something. And sure, we can take the Rotten Penny. We have Hive Mind, so that actually might be a pretty decent combo. So yeah, I would say that the absolutely number one hardest thing is just getting started. Motivation, you'd be surprised how easy motivation is to find. When you really set your mind to it, whether it's in fitness or investing or whatever, like just something you're just really, really jazzed about. That's easy to come by because everything sounds super exciting and you know that you're going to be doing the right thing and it's what you really, really, really want. Oh, game, you can keep that penny. But actually physically taking that first step into the gym and not being intimidated this time to say, hey, no, we're doing this. No matter what, we're doing this. Like, this is happening. This is what's happening. That's the mindset you gotta get into. And not being a father, I don't know what all that entails in terms of free time. I'm sure I can imagine it's a lot. It's very impactful on your free time if you have any, but if you want something bad enough, you're gonna do it. And an old habit to get back into is that's easy to fall back into is the diet stuff. It's easy to just say, you know what, I'm just too tired. The gym kicked my butt today, or I'm feeling kind of bad that I couldn't. It was a demotivating experience with the weights. They really humbled me, and whatever. I'm just gonna eat whatever. And those little cheats, you can't allow them. You can't do it. A little tiny cheat here, an excuse there to say, you know what? I don't even care. I got to have my Sour Patch Kid today, or I'm going to have an extra cookie or whatever. When you haven't earned it, when you haven't been putting in the time and you haven't had that lifestyle change, that's the hardest, that's the easiest thing to fall back into and the hardest thing to break. It's tough to hear, but hey, someone's got to tell you. Well, we are fully maxed out on tiers now. It's not always something that people want to hear, especially from a random YouTuber, but I'm here to tell you, take this as your sign that today's the day you're going to start. Well, don't start today. Start on Monday. I like to start my routines on Mondays. Use this weekend to have your final hurrah, get your workout sessions in order, get your splits in order, and then just hit the ground running. But not too fast. You don't want to hurt yourself. If I can do it, literally anyone can. And I'm still not in the best of shape in terms of, like, you know, I don't have my 6-pack back or anything like that. I'm working on it, but you know, it's a long journey, and pace yourself. You know that Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was your body. It's going to take years. It's like, think of it for those of my investing mosh pit members out there. Just think of it like a long-term investment. Except instead of investing money into something, you're investing into yourself. Yourself, your health, your shape, everything, all that. That is the fund that you are funding with this new goal. We have a chance of getting Guppy here. Look at that. Saved us a couple of hits there. And we also got the payout from Gimpy. Now remember, we have the wafer, so any damage we do, even if it's self-inflicted damage, is only going to be half. Movement speed and range, we'll definitely take that. We get Ace of Diamonds, which is useless. I also forgot to go back and buy Lost Soul Buddy. I didn't even register it in my brain because I knew I was going to forget it. So, get another Demon Judgment. And this one also has a chance of spawning another Guppy item here. I don't really have qualms about spending more HP on this. Oh my gosh, is that spun? No, it's 2 or 3 for spun. Hey, Guppy's Paw, we'll take the mark, which gives us damage and movement speed. And yeah, you know, we can hold on to the cracked key. Why not? No one's telling us we can't. Curse the Blind. I'm going to Ansuz this just so we can get off of this floor. And the non-XL floor, by the way. This is a non-XL floor. Hang on, how many rooms is this? $25 rooms if we don't count. If we don't count the big rooms as double rooms. Buttless Chub. She ain't got no butt. That's a buttless Chub. Yeah, so we have the cracked key here. I mean, this looks like as good as any to be the Ultra Secret Room. Now, we could have just waited and taken some damage deliberately to try to find the location of the Ultra Secret Room, but I'm gonna be honest, I think that Ultra Secret Rooms are mid. They can be good, but they're not something that I really go out of my way for anymore. And that's just sad, you know, like it's a really cool mechanic to have, and an even more rare, hard to find secret room in the game. One that's not even on the map, you know. and then have it be not even exciting when you do get in there, because you know that chances are the item inside is going to be crap. It's going to be just a non-contributing zero of an item. And I don't think that that's how Isaac should be. I think that going into vaults, I think that should be rewarded. I think that going into planetariums should be rewarded. I think that finding the ultra secret room and any items in there, or a crawl space, I think that should be like a, hey, this is going to boost our power level in this run. I don't think it should be met with like, ugh, this isn't even worth my time type deal. And I'm not going to advocate for every item pedestal and every single item pool. It needs to be a most overpowered, broken, best item in the game. But I'm saying there could be improvements. And we did get spun. Wow. Get a Krampus fight here. Our DPS really taking off, and we get lumped with coal too. Okay. Okay. Things are starting to finally come up Millhouse here. Dex Devil X says, question the episode, explain to me far or often do you record in the future? How does that work? I'm reading this verbatim. I record usually right now. The backlog extend. Oh my goodness, we even get sausage too. The backlog right now extends anywhere from the 3 to 4 days in advance range. I like this range right now because if I have to take some time off to handle personal stuff or, you know, whatever, or if I just need a day off, I can do that without having to worry too much about the backlog because I know that content is going to be there. So, yeah. So I pre-record episodes and release them on the day they're supposed to come out. And, you know, what I do, my routine is I will go through the previous week and I will check to see if any videos have gotten 2,000 likes for the like streak goal, so that remains accurate as much as I can from the past. But, you know, I'm speaking to future Invicta right now, and you guys and gals won't even see this for days. No Devil Deal for the final Devil Deal, so it's going to be no Guppy, but we did get an Emperor card, which I'm happy about. That makes thank you, Stars card, appreciate it. Makes the chest and going to Blue Baby kind of like a slam dunk here. Soul of Lazarus I will not be taking. Fun fact about the Soul of Lazarus is that it does kill Isaac. We found that out the hard way the very first time I wanted to find out what the Soul of Lazarus did, and man, was that a shock. I just can't believe the secret room did not give us an exit up there. Which tells me that's not the right way to go. And this Tears raid is now elite level. So thankfully we did not have a repeat of yesterday. And, you know, yesterday is it's one of those runs, a great example of we just have to outlast the game. You know, the movement, though, we never captured the momentum on that run, and it never snowballed in our favor. It always felt like we were playing an uphill battle. Whereas this one here, we started off slow, basically practically the same run from yesterday. But we got lucky. We made a really, really good solid play on floor 1, which led to other better decisions and put us in a much stronger position to really outscale the game. And that grabbed us the momentum, and we held on to it. And that's how you get great runs like this, where it's enjoyable and we can riff and laugh and hem and haw about stuff. Really bad damage there. There's the aura. And this gives you basically homing Sacred Heart Tears, but also that anti-damage aura that you saw right there. Very strong. And we're going to end it with an Emperor card dunk on the game. Very solid run overall. Very happy with the way that things came out here. We get Mongo Baby, Daddy Longlegs, and Sack Dagger to end it. So thank you for watching, everyone. Remember, tonight, Friday night, Pokemon Breaks over at Sinvicta.tv, where you can order. And then twitch.tv/Invicta is where I do the actual breaks. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot more people coming in over from YouTube saying hello, and some of you are even taking part in the breaks, so I love that. And yeah, it's been a fun time. We pulled some amazing cards last week, and hopefully we're going to be hitting some big bangers tonight. So check it out, twitch.tv/Sinvicta. And of course, go to Sinvicta.tv. We do have merch, and there's new shirts coming out very soon too. So I'll make a big announcement when those are live, and might even do like a little merch, like eye button, whatever. You know those YouTubers who plug their own stuff in their videos. Yeah, I might even do something like that. So anyway, here's your meme of the day here, brought to you on the Sinvicta subreddit by 10 the Lonely God. Title of the thread was Unexpected Krampus Hard Counter. In the thread, they said Sanguine Bond truly was the MVP of episode 584. I fear no man, but that thing, it scares me. Yeah, it kind of trivializes the Krampus fight, and honestly, I'm fine with that because he's a jerk and takes all my good items. So thank you for watching, everyone. Have a great Friday. Hopefully we see you tonight over on Twitch, and thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and hyping. And as always, I'll see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. I'd like thanks to patrons of mine like Nicholas Fernald, Stephen Alexander, and Zach Bobel. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Sinvicta.